All right, man. It is what it is. We them ones. So WWE Clash at the Castle went down yesterday, and I should have did a live stream, but circumstances have changed as far as like my camera setup and all that. Luckily, you know, the quality isn't as bad. I'm using my old phone for quality, but whatever, doesn't matter. Anyway, WWE Clash the Castle went down yesterday, right? Now, I'm not going to go through the entire show. If you want to find out what exactly went down, check it out. But there's a couple things that I want to talk about before we get to the main event. Dominic Mysterio, like everybody pretty much, I think people pretty much expected that Dominic was going to turn on his dad and go heel, right? I think everybody pretty much expected that. It happening the way it did, though, and it's so crazy. Like, whenever they have a heel turn like that, they usually do it in that manner. They'll usually do it in some big triumphant moment. They'll just shit on it with a perfect heel turn, and that's exactly what they did, right? So even knowing that, with it still being unexpected, perfect. I really dug it. My only issue was, actually, this was my fault. I had rewound the match a little bit to see Edge dancing. We was laughing at it. He was kind of dancing on the ring apron, and so then when I tried to set it to live at the end of the match, and when I set it to live, the crowd was booing, and Dominic was walking back towards the back. So that ruined it for us. So that was my fault. That sucked. But still enjoyed it, right? But yeah, speaking of downers, this was a very good show full of very good matches. And I don't know what they did as far as like the booking is concerned, but somebody in the back was like, you know what? We just gonna break everybody's hearts. We just gonna ruin everybody's night, and everything that the people want, fuck them. We ain't giving it to them. So Dominic turning on Ray and Edge, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, that was heartbreaking for, you know, if you give a fuck. Sheamus not beating Gunther, right? When he didn't beat Gunther, I'm like, okay, Drew is definitely going to win tonight. Because if they didn't give people what they wanted in the Sheamus versus Gunther match, then they definitely have to give Drew the belt tonight. Like, this definitely has to end with Drew becoming the universal what the fuck? The universal WWE champion, right? Has to end that way. Just has to, right? And I was prepared for it. Me being a Roman fan, I was prepared for it. I was fully prepared, right? To see Roman go ahead and lose the belts tonight, or, you know, that night. Afternoon, whatever. So Sheamus lost in what was a great match. Like I said, it was some great matches on the show. Riddle lost, right, to Seth Rollins. The crowd actually, you know, cheered that. Everybody, you know, even if Seth Rollins is working heel, people love Seth Rollins, right? And the build up to that match was just perfect. Just perfect. But yeah, it was just a night of letdowns, and not for me. Like, I appreciate it. Like, I did want to see Sheamus take it. But I was happy that Seth Rollins won. I like Riddle. He's very fucking good. Like, he is great at what the fuck he does. But it's kind of a CM Punk thing where I don't know the guy personally. Obviously, I don't know the guy personally, but just some of his real life personality that has seeped through in some of his interactions and, you know, things he says on Twitter. I don't think I like the motherfucker. I'm not sure if I like the guy on a personal level. Like I said, as a character and as an entertainer, as a sports entertainer, as a wrestler, performer, whatever you want to call it, he is incredible. Fucking incredible. I can't take that away from him. But I'll be honest, like it felt good to see Seth Rollins win that. It did feel good to see Seth Rollins win that. Not even gonna lie to you. But on the flip side of that, Drew McIntyre, right? Everybody loves Drew McIntyre, right? Everybody loves Drew McIntyre. I'm a Roman Reigns fan, but I love Drew McIntyre. And if anybody was to take the belts off of Roman Reigns, first of all, I really needed to be Cody Rhodes. I really needed to be Cody Rhodes, to be the one to take the belt, to take the title off of Roman. I really need that to be Cody Rhodes. That is the best story that they can tell ever. I heard the rumors that, you know, supposedly Vince wants Triple H to keep the belt on Roman until WrestleMania 39. I think that's a dumbass idea. If you're going to do The Rock versus Roman Reigns, it does not have to be for the title. I love The Rock. I'm a Rock fan. He's always been my favorite wrestler, but I don't need to see The Rock as the Universal Champion or the Undisputed Champion. I don't need to see that. You can literally have the main event be Roman Reigns versus The Rock with no title on the line. And people will pay to see that. I will pay to see that shit. Seriously. It does not have to be for the belt. So if the rumors are true, and that's why Roman won, because they want to keep the belt on him until he faces The Rock, supposedly, it's a stupid ass idea. I'm not a booker. I'm not a, you know, I don't write for these shows. But just as a fan, I don't need to see The Rock versus Roman Reigns be for the title. It does not need to be that way. Just let them fight. Let them fight for the family, right? Whatever. But not for the title. So if anybody does beat Roman Reigns, my second choice might have been Drew, but there's also Seth. They have to continue that storyline after the Royal Rumble. I could see Seth doing it. But like I said, I really needed to be Cody. I really, really wanted to be Cody to be the one, because the story literally writes itself. It's family versus family, legacy versus legacy. Like, there's more than one royal family in wrestling, as Cody Rhodes' entrance theme says. You know, you got the Anoa'i family versus the Rhodes family, legacy versus legacy. No pun intended, because of the group he started in. Like, the story just writes itself, and that to me is going to be a fire ass feud if they actually do it. I hope to God they do it. But yeah, so I really would like to see Cody Rhodes be the one to finally take the belts off of Roman Reigns, not The Rock. If it was Drew McIntyre, I was cool with that. I made my peace with that yesterday. I did. I was prepared for it. But again, I can't believe that they didn't put the belts on Drew McIntyre yesterday. That really just blows my mind. It really blows my mind that they went over there. Drew had the biggest support I've probably seen anybody have in a long time from that many people. You know, like I said, the writing was on the wall. It like I mentioned before, the story just wrote itself. But they didn't pull the trigger. And what the fuck was that shit at the end with Tyson Fury? First of all, why did he have to be so prominent on this show Like him talking to Drew in a little backstage fake segment where they're just mouthing words, you know, to a silent camera. Cool. All right, I can get that. I can get behind that. Then when he was talking to Roman, I'm like, okay, you talking to the heel and the face of the main event. Okay, whatever. Then they showed him like twice in the crowd after each segment. You know, like, okay, whatever. He's a huge star over there. Whatever. That's weird. Austin Theory comes down to try to cash in. He's strategically placed in the right spot to where he can punch the shit out of Tyson. I mean, not Tyson. Austin Theory to keep him from cashing in. That was perfect. I love that. That was a huge moment. I popped for it. But for him to come into the ring after the match, why? What for? Made no sense. The little stare down with Roman, I don't get it. Did nothing. Absolutely nothing. The little montage at the end, singing with Drew, cringeworthy. I had to turn it off. They could have just left that unaired and let that just be a special moment for the crowd and attendance, and been perfectly fine. But, you know, that's not what we got. We got Drew McIntyre and Tyson Fury singing, what was it, American Pie? Whatever. Wasn't for me. It was quite cringy. So, anyway, WWE Clash at the Castle. Great show. Great show. I enjoyed it. Wasn't what I expected. But great show. Definitely a great show. Hopefully they don't wait so long to do a big show like that in the United Kingdom. I don't know what the ticket sales were, but I'm quite sure it sold out quick. I would imagine it probably sold out quick. But great show. Loved it. Definitely enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments below. Let me know what you thought about the show. If you enjoyed it, or if they could have just, you know, not done that. Let me know in the comments below. I'm quite sure there's going to be a lot of people pissed off because Drew didn't win. I get that. I get it. But still, we the ones. Talk to you next time.